Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Thursday, July 27th, and the moon is in Scorpio still. It does shift into Sag, but that doesn't happen here on the east coast of the U.S. till about 8:30 tonight. So, for all intents and purposes, the moon continues to be in Sag. Sag is Virgo. No, Jesus, Scorpio. I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I know what I want to come out of my mouth. I know it's in my head. It doesn't always match what's in my mouth. Hi, Charlie. Anyway, it's kind of a big day today. We start off with an inconjunct between Neptune and Mercury, and I talked about that yesterday, how things didn't seem quite as organized and clear as we got later in the day. We got a new, I love these. These are the smelly good ones. The white ones don't really smell, but these pink ones, the Asiatic lilies, they really smell. And then, of course, we have these tiger lilies. So this is lilies. Today is the day of lilies. And here's some different day lilies over here. I've had this day lily here for quite a few years, and every year one comes up. And now look, we have 1, 2. So this must be not just an apple year, because the apple tree is hard to see because they're not quite red yet, but loaded with apples. These are my Macintosh. I'll tell you, if in fact we get some apples off this tree, and the groundhogs don't eat them all, or the deer don't eat them all, they're never perfect because we don't use any pesticides, but they are scrumptious, really scrumptious. Just gotta like cut out the little spots where there might be things like living in it, but it's okay. It doesn't affect the taste of the apple. And it's got really, really like white flesh. Just once I can pick one, I'll share it with you guys, and we can have it together. All right, so we had this Mercury in conjunct Neptune. By the end of today, we also have Pluto sort of move in and give an exact in conjunct. That's going to happen early tomorrow morning. But it creates a Yod configuration. And today we have Venus and Mercury making a conjunction. They're sort of, in a way, passing in the night as Mercury's moving forward slowly, because it does go retrograde at the end of well, actually not slowly. It goes retrograde at the end of August, not July. Okay, so it's moving through Leo right now, and it meets up. We have a meetup with Venus, and both Mercury and Venus coming together gives us an opportunity to evaluate, to talk about, to perhaps look back at. And I'm saying look back at only because of Venus being retrograde, but this is an opportunity for us to sort of sit back and just go over everything really that has happened. It's kind of a review day in that respect. And honestly, if I had anything to say about anything, this would be a good day to indict the ex-president, honestly, for a number of reasons. This is one of them. So we have Venus and Mars coming together. Venus and Mars. We have Venus and Mercury coming together. I better have a cup of coffee. In Leo, we have Pluto and Uranus creating. We have Pluto and Neptune. Should I start over? We have Venus and Mercury conjoining. We have Neptune and Pluto in conjuncting that conjunction. So it's the head of a Yod, fickle finger of fate, finger of God, pointing at the Leo, the conjunction in Leo, of our mind and our heart. Okay, I said it. At the same time, because this is just the way things happen, we also have Pluto making one of 3 exact squares to the nodes of the moon. In fact, this week there have been 3 exact squares of Pluto to the nodes. Pluto, square the nodes of the moon, evolutionary crossroads, guys. Now we're sitting here looking at, over how many days has it been 110 in Phoenix? We're looking at people starving. We're looking at Russia bombing ports in Odessa that hold grain that would feed the starving people who are suffering because of war, climate change, climate disasters. And what are we doing? What are we doing now? Pluto square the nodes. Let's get to Pluto. The resolution node for Pluto square the nodes is the south node in Libra. The ruler of that south node is Venus, which is in that yod with Mercury. It's very important for us to speak from our hearts today with compassion, to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. The resolution node, being the south node in Libra, asks us to renegotiate our contracts. Pluto in Capricorn, that's very powerful energy. It can be, in its negative sense, abusive power, and we certainly are seeing that, right? So what do? We have to sit in our hearts. We have to think about and feel what our brothers and sisters are feeling. They are not separate from us. Neptune reminds us. We are all one. And yet we are different, and we do have different things we're good at, and the different things that that we're asked to work with in a lifetime. And so we all have our own work, but we have to come up with a focus for that work to amount to something, right? To amount to anything. And I'm using very large terms and collective ideas, but you can apply this very easily to your own life. It doesn't have to be, saving the world. It could just be really sort of focusing in on that which is at the core of your heart and mind, with compassion. How are you going to shine your light? Leo is an archetype of being a spark of the divine. We are all a spark of the divine. We all have Leo somewhere in our chart, whether we're a Leo or not. And so that's what's being asked of us. How are you? What God is asking, and I use the word God. We could say God, Goddess, all that is, only because I use the finger of God. We'll call it the finger of fate, the finger of God, Goddess, all that is. We're being held down. I don't want to say we're being fingered because that would sound terrible. Of course, I said it. So we're at this juncture. We're at this juncture. Where in your life can you renegotiate your contracts, right? And the South Node, being the resolution node here, holds a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom in the South Node. And so a lot of experience in the South Node around how to relate. Some of us are really good at relating. Some of us it can be a little bit of a sore spot or the thing that trips us up. But we all have experience, and we're being asked to look at that experience and how has it empowered or disempowered us. And so we need to utilize what we know, both good and bad, right? Like what worked, what didn't work. And then we move to the North Node, which is the I Am, which is a new way. a new way. And Mars, the ruler of that node, is in Virgo right now. And so it's about, in a way, making adjustments to self, Aries, renegotiating and learning from relationships, Libra, in order to bring a sense of structure, Capricorn, to an ever-changing world in which the old ways, or most of the old, not all the old ways, because some of the old ways still work. There are still some things that do work. It's not like you're not throwing the baby away with the bathwater here. You're just giving us new. The baby just gets to sit in clean water. How about that? Maybe that's a place to start. So that's what's going on today. A big day. Energetically, if you're sensitive, you're probably feeling a lot of this. I know yesterday I was feeling, usually I'm usually pretty jolly no matter what's going on. But yesterday was one of those days, even though astrologically, when I talked about it, it didn't seem like it was going to be one of those days. But of course, the moon was in Scorpio. When the moon's in Scorpio, sometimes we get really, really deep. And we're feeling some really, really deep things. But because it's so deep, we don't actually know what it is. It takes a lot of teasing out. So it can come out. Eventually, you may understand it. But it's just a really intense time. And we'll see what this day holds. Let's see, what's the vibration of the day? So it's the 27th. And if we add 7 to that, that's the month. That's 34. If we add 7 to that, it's a 41. So it's actually an Ace of Cups day, guys. And that is about love. Love, love, love. So, love one another. Love the one you with. I'm sorry, that's an old, was that the 60s? I just want to let you know, it is so muggy here. It's like the air is completely still. What's the temp? I have the temperature right there. Could I read it? Looks like it's 75, but I can't even tell you just how oppressively humid it is right now. If you saw my hair, you'd probably understand. But anyway, that's the weather. That's the regular weather. I think we might be getting some rain today, but maybe not. It's just really, really muggy. Yesterday was kind of nice, but today looks like it's going to not be quite as nice. All right, have yourself a great day, guys. Like and subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow. Hopefully, I imagine there's going to be lots of things coming out today. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Yeah. We'll see if Jack Smith has an astrologer working for him. All right, guys, take care. Much love. Namaste.